Hi, my name is Courtney Terry, and this is Arts Alive, a production of the Arts Alliance of Yamhill County. And my guest today is Elide Sanchez Rivera. Oh my gosh, sorry. Muralist, artist, and we're specifically talking today about the amazing mural. I'm so excited about it that just went up outside of McMinnville Public Library. And you were involved with so many parts of the mural. So tell me more. So it's so the mural project is a program by SMART.
Yes. So I am also a bilingual program manager for SMART. So I found out early on about the mural project, and I was just like, oh, maybe I can do this too. So that's how I kind of initially got involved with it. But SMART's doing this just to celebrate their 30th anniversary. So they have murals all around the state. I think currently the ones up are in Portland and in Bend. So check those out if you can.
Cool.
But they're the ones who kind of sponsored the whole kind of mural project around. And I was asked to see if I wanted to do the mural for the Northwest area, which is Yamhill, Marion, Polk, Tillamook, and Lincoln. So it's a big area.
Yes. It's a 5-county area.
Yeah. And so with that, they asked me if I wanted to, and I said, that's great, but I can't really do it all on my own. It's a lot to do a mural.
Yes.
Luckily, we had another muralist, Allison McClay, who was just like, I would love to do this, but I want to have someone to help as well. Like, I want someone to train and like see if they want to continue this. So that's how I got to meet Allison, was that we got connected kind of in the initial stages of what the mural here in McMinnville would look like.
Oh, that's so cool. And we should say, so SMART is an organization, Start Making a Reader Today, and it is an organization that helps with literacy, especially in the schools, right?
Yes, yes. So it is now just called Smart Reading.
Nice.
A lot easier. A lot of people kind of know it that way now.
Yes.
And like their logo changed a couple years ago, so it's just a brand new like
Smart.
branding.
Yes. Smart of them.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's super much clearer now. But yes, it's a nonprofit organization that works with schools. They work with students primarily from pre-K to 3rd grade, and their kind of main purpose is to have a positive impact on the young youth with reading. So they do that by having volunteers go into the schools and reading with them, either one-on-one or via the whole classroom. And then adding that to having them receive free books from us. So it's kind of like a 2 thing for them to really just have a positive relationship with literacy and reading and just books.
Yes.
So we work with them throughout the school year. So the program starts like in mid-October and it goes all the way to May, mid-May-ish.
Oh, cool. And that's what volunteers in the classrooms. I think actually maybe I was a SMART volunteer at one point a long time ago. And I can say from that experience, like how rewarding it is for the volunteers that go in, and I can just imagine that. And then, having books of their very own that they can take home and show their families. Like, that's a big deal to get kids into reading. Yeah,
that's the whole goal. That's the point, is for them to not only just be able to choose the books they want to read, if they want to read at all, the volunteer can read for them too. And just be able to grow their own like library. Yeah, that's the whole premise of it.
Yes,
just to really help them with early learning literacy.
Yes, and I feel so the mural that's up at the library right now, it is so beautiful, and I love it because that theme of like books and imagination and it's so perfect. Where did the design for that come from?
So Allison and I initially had like 3 separate designs, and we came together and kind of just made sure that each one of us kind of still had our ideas present. And one of the ideas that we both independently saw were children reading and then kind of like the swirling motion. So we gathered those ideas and we put them together, and that's how we kind of came up with our initial concept, which was having two children or two people reading to each other, and out of that comes like this whole world of imagination, of just, you know, stories, fantasy, real life settings. Just, you know, it just opens up a whole new world for them.
Yes, and we can see, even just like, this was kind of early days when before a lot of those details came in, and you can still see all the different elements of it, even just the basics. I'm a bit obsessed with the waves because they are so cool. And although, was it challenging to paint, because you were working with, there was the smooth concrete, but then there was also whatever that stuff is, stucco maybe? Have you had a lot of experience doing other murals?
So I've definitely done murals in like just regular walls, not that textured wall. And that was at the community center. So I was able to do indoor murals.
Yeah.
For the Tiny Tots down there. I don't know if that's still there, but we'll see. Yeah,
I hope so.
So that was like my first time actually doing murals. And then
That's so cool.
Follow up to that would be that I haven't done any exterior like murals or anything like that. So Allison's background and just murals itself was definitely where I leaned, and where she kind of guided me through that process. So
awesome.
It was definitely a huge help for me to have her there, and just kind of do what we needed to do while we're drawing together and painting together.
And did it, in terms of like who created what, did you have it, how did you break down? I mean, it's such a huge project and it's two people, and it sounded like you guys are really on the same page in terms, I'm sorry, you know, with the design and everything, but was it like, I'm just curious, was it like you mostly did one side, or it was like you would both work on details? How did you kind of divvy up the magic?
Yeah, no. So definitely a lot of just teamwork and just kind of, you know, seeing what ideas worked best with each other. So for the initial sketches, we just came together and we're just like, this seems to work. Like, you know, have the children here, swirls there, add these and this, and then we would come back to it like a week later, and I would suggest maybe we should add a ship here, maybe we should add a rocket here, make things a little pop out, and then she would incorporate it. So she had the actual kind of like applications, like the apps to actually draw online.
Ooh, cool.
Instead of my kind of drawing on paper method. She definitely had
so old-fashioned.
She definitely had the technology piece, so
cool.
I leaned on her with that. And then when we actually started painting on the wall, we realized that there was a couple of things we had to change because of the texture of the wall. So initially we were going to have the quotes like in the bottom where the sea animals are. But because the texture is so rough, lettering would have been so difficult.
Yeah.
So we moved some things around. And that's the good thing about just art, is that you can move things around and change things if you don't like it. And that was kind of both our process. So the way Allison was kind of explaining it is that some folks like to just look at it and then one stroke, and that is the only stroke they'll do, and then they'll, you know, look at it again, and just that's the method of art that they are accustomed to. She does the kind of the opposite. She just puts on strokes, and I do the same, and just looks at it, and if it needs to be changed, we'll go ahead and change it. If it needs to be a different color, we'll go ahead and change it. So that like her method of painting and my method of painting really just coincided together. So it was an easy way to kind of just continue the mural.
Yes, the collaboration. And the sea animals, and specifically the manta rays, are one of my favorite. I love the whole thing. I won't ever stop saying that. But the sea animals right above the doorway, especially the tiny manta rays, I love them so much. And it's just so much color. And just, yeah, the mixing of colors, and it would seem so complicated. So, like, was there a base layer? I'm very curious how you managed to get it on the building, especially. And I guess, and how long, I mean, I saw it go. I saw it going up every day, but how long did it take from kind of beginning of end to the process?
Yeah. So initially there was like a basic like white coat that we just went. It was like a primer, just to make sure that the paint will actually stick on.
Smart.
And we used that to cover the majority of the wall. I think the only part that we didn't do it was on like in the very top because it was a little harder. So the lift, we had a lot of problems with the lift initially, but we were able to overcome them.
That's heavy machinery, honestly.
We thought it would be simple, but it turned out to be a little bit more difficult when you, yeah.
Fair enough.
So once the primer was on, we were able to do kind of just like a base color coat. So that's kind of what the initial picture show was, just like random colors here and there. And that was just to kind of add layers to the final result. So we just kind of layered color on top of color just to make it more vibrant.
Yeah.
So I thought that worked pretty well.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's it is very bright. And there's also, I love, because part of that is also a little bit of a memorial to Rosemarie, the library director who, well, she was the library director for a long time. She was a downtown volunteer for a long time. And I love just in the bookmark, just the small writing.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, she also did a lot for smart reading. So
Yeah.
the bookmarks.
The bookmarks, the fabric bookmarks.
Yeah. So all the fabric bookmarks that she did, she would donate the purchases of the
proceeds.
Proceeds. There we go. Of the bookmarks directly to smart reading.
Oh,
So
right.
we really wanted to incorporate that and just have her in the bookmark.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. And I believe there is going to be a celebration kind of about the mural and the project with Smart and coming, I believe, in August, but I'm sure the library will publish details about that.
Yes.
But yes. Well, thank you for talking to us about the mural. It is so beautiful. I cannot tell people enough to go to the library and see it. And you're also going to be working on, so will you and Allison be doing other murals, not locally, but any other Smart murals that are like in the area? Or is this was the...
I think this is the one. Okay. This is the one that we really poured.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Labor of love for sure. You had to use a scissor lift, for goodness sakes. But
yeah,
but cool.
So I think that would be it for Smart Reading for this particular kind of project for the 30th anniversary.
Yes.
But definitely check out the other murals that are coming along or are already up.
Yes, I think you had said Bend and then Portland and then McMinnville, and I know actually the Springfield Public Library is getting a mural as well, and then maybe one other somewhere. Cool. Yes. Well, folks can go onto the Smart Reading website, which is
smartreading.org.
Perfect. To get more information and stop by the McMinnville Public Library to take a look at the mural there.
Yeah.
Ellie, thank you so much for coming in today and answering all my questions and just having to deal with me fangirling over how much I love the mural and how beautiful it is. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Courtney, for having me.
And this is Courtney Terry, and this has been Arts Alive.